Welcome to the Tactical Dent Tech Podcast. You are now part of a small underground movement of dent technicians from all over the world. We are on a mission to change our industry with innovation, intelligence, and skill. But because we don't rely on an insurance company to steer customers our way, we need to do things different. We need to do things smarter. We do that through a network of technicians that we call the Tactical Tech Movement. Now let's get this revolution started.
Hey, what's up, everybody? John Hiley here with the Tactical Dent Tech Podcast, coming to you with a new episode, and this is after July 4th. What are we at now? July 7th, July 10th, something like that?
It's July 9th, and you did not introduce me.
Well, as you guys can see here, it is July 9th. We got that out of the way, and I want to introduce to you the host with the most, which is Angela Hiley.
I swear, I think you could do a little bit better than that.
I want to introduce to you the host with the most, which is my beautiful, sexy, talented wife, Angela Hiley.
That's right. That was pretty good right there.
Oh, I should remember that, huh? You know how it is. Got to score some points, get some where I can get them.
Mm-hmm.
So what's up with y'all out there? Everybody out there wearing your mask, complying.
Oh, dear God, John.
Are you guys in compliance? Are you guys motherfucking outlaws like me?
That's not in every state. I know every state's different. Do we really got to talk about this mask thing? I am so over this shit. Like,
I got mine on right now. Yeah, I can put it on really quick. I can take my shirt and pull it right over my nose.
No, wait. No.
That's the fucking equivalent of what everybody's wearing.
No, you got to talk about that. The one thing.
Me cutting some pantyhose and wearing them, trying to get on the plane.
No.
I've been thinking about cutting some pantyhose and just putting them over, like, my face as a mask and trying to get on the plane with them.
Oh, shit, John.
Oh, you talking about the thing? Yeah, I read a post the other day. Some dude said he was walking into a health food store. He was in California. He walked into a health food store, and a lady goes, "Sir, you have to have a mask to come in here. Do you have a mask?" And he said, "No." And she goes, "Well, here's one. Take one." So he takes the mask and he puts it over his forehead. And she goes, "Sir, what are you doing? You need to put that over your mouth and your nose." He said, "No, ma'am. I identify as a dolphin, and my blowhole is up here on my forehead." I guess out of confusion, she's like, "Okay." So he walks around the store with a mask on his forehead, looking like an idiot, but a free idiot.
Oh, shit. That is so funny. That's some good shit right there. It is some good shit.
Yeah, if we wanted to go deeper into that, I just recommend you guys hopping on, go over to John Hiley, follow me on Facebook, and watch a few of my last videos that been getting quite a few shares and things like that. Been trying to put my perspective out there. Now, you guys know for a long time, I really have not been political on this show whatsoever. And to be honest with you, I didn't intend to be political whatsoever. But when that shit starts fucking with business and starts, I start seeing some major inconsistencies. And we start seeing things where the government kind of starts off by saying, well, we're going to have to close for a couple weeks to flatten the curve. And then 2 weeks turns into 3 months. And then now, supposedly, we're prepared. We got these ventilators they said that we needed to have. We got all of this, all these supplies, all of these whatever gloves, mask, whatever the healthcare workers need to actually be able to work and do their job. And then the motherfuckers start coming back and just change the narrative over and over again. It just has me questioning, like, what the fuck is this really about, And
well, it's all about passing another stimulus bill.
Well, but to top it off, you got the same motherfuckers that are like hollering and yelling the entire time that we need closures, we need to save lives and all this kind of stuff. Now, basically saying that Trump has a shitty economy. I mean, do you see the fucking narrative there? It's a shitty economy because it was fucking closed down because the same motherfuckers that are saying the economy's shitty now shut the fucking economy down. So it's like, you see the narrative and it's sick, man. It's like politics it makes me sick, but at the same time, it's like, I'm looking around like, Is anybody else paying a fucking attention to this shit?
They are. I mean, I think they're paying attention.
Well, some
I think they're
people
paying
need to
more
speak
attention
out about
now than what they were paying attention. But I did see something interesting on Facebook. I was scrolling down. I don't know who it was. I'm pretty sure it was a dent guy, but I don't know which dent guy it was. But it was something. It was a meme. It went to the nature like something about. If you believe in something about conspiracy, like something like if you ever no, wait a minute, no, something about believing in something about believing in conspiracy theories, but now you're actually living in one. And I was like, ooh, that's pretty good.
Hey, I'm the king of memes.
Because conspiracy theories, you can go down so many rabbit holes. I love all the rabbit holes. It's actually very interesting.
One of the best memes that I found was with Joe Biden sniffing like behind Jimi Hendrix, and Jimi Hendrix is like looks like he's just drilling this guitar.
Yeah.
And Joe Biden that signature move where he's behind somebody like on their hair, kind of sniffing them.
Yeah.
And it says, "Excuse me while I sniff this guy."
Burner.
Best ever.
Oh my god!
And I got the opportunity to have a white dude call me racist because I shared that. Wow. Talk about a fucking dilution of the word.
I don't know. I think if people like really knew who we were, they would know that we are so far like not even there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But you know, that's what I'm saying. Like people though, they dilute that word. And it's always I see it as just white dudes. Like anytime I've ever been called a racist by somebody, it's always some fucking liberal white guy. And I'm like,
they don't know. They don't know jack shit.
I don't even think they should have the right to use the fucking word, especially if they're going to use it for anything. You know, I talked about this in the past, like when I was a kid growing up, you know, let's just say back when I was, 13 to 15 years old, if somebody called you a racist, like you were ready to fight them. That's how bad of a word it was. That's how bad it was for somebody to call you a racist.
I don't think it was like used as much as what it's used now. You know,
well, it's just
like there was more of a meaning to it then than what it is now.
It's a dilution of the word. It's diluting the actual purpose, you know. And because of that, we got a bunch of let's just say every time you piss off a little pissy white dude who gets his butthole hurt over anything, he calls you a racist.
Yeah, it's just an easy way.
It's like that, like their default. And it's like, dude, do you even fucking know anything about that word?
Probably.
It's racist to fucking use it and call it and actually use it all the time. And to take the word and distort its actual, real, truthful meaning.
That is true.
You know? And the truth of the matter is, if you actually go down to the core of what the meaning, the word racist means, it means an individual that feels that they are superior to another race because of the color of their skin or their ethnic. I want to say this right. Ethnicity.
Well, I'm definitely more superior than you, John. I'm just messing with you.
Man, hoes is crazy.
I ain't no fucking hoe. You know that.
These hoes is crazy around here, y'all.
No, I ain't crazy and I ain't no fucking hoe. I hold myself to a higher standard, and you even know that.
I'm a hobo.
If anyone was ever a hoe, it would be you, John Hiley.
Proud of it. I sowed my motherfucking royal oats.
Oh. Let's talk about something inspiring.
Honk, honk.
Let's talk about some good shit.
Some good shit.
Some good shit. None of this COVID shit.
Well, I went on a tirade today.
Well, that's good.
It went live on my Facebook wall, and basically told everybody, I'm like, you know, I've been researching this for like the last couple days. I've been thinking about the word, you know, divide and conquer. Like,
yeah,
you know, what it's about, you know, why it's used. And it's just, it's fucking crazy. Like you read the way that, you know, ancient empires would actually use this technique to weaken the citizens of a society. And you like see it today. It's like, you know, at what point did we ever get in our society that we can't talk to a neighbor and have one fucking disagreement about, you know, something, whether it's political, whether it's, spiritual, whether it's, let's just say sexual preference, like, and, just have one little disagreement with somebody and like you argue and hate them. And literally, like, everybody's picking sides. Everybody's deciding what they're going to be, and they're sticking to the narrative of fucking what that is. And you can almost, like, it's so sickening that you can almost predict what's going to come out of people's mouths, whether they're Republican, whether they're Democrat, and I'm talking about the ones that are like hardcore. They identify with that shit.
I think basically what it is that they honestly feel that they are so... In that one book about not giving a fuck or something like that, he even goes in of even like totally going down to like, it's really not the greatest to always think or always try to be right and arguing your point.
Right.
Because basically when somebody really loves to argue, and I'm pretty sure we all know somebody out there that loves to argue and they think that they're always right, this and that.
I try to hook them sometimes on my post because I know it'll spike Facebook's algorithm. And if I can get somebody like talking all kinds of shit on my post, like I actually bait them in and use them.
Yeah, but you're not
to spread my message.
Yeah, but you're not somebody that like intentionally loves to argue, and it's like no matter what you say, it's like, dude, what do you want me to just say? Like, you're right. Okay, you're right. There, does that solve it? And it's like those type of people will be like, no, that doesn't solve it. Blah 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 blah.
Well, actually, I had a guy say on Facebook to me sometime early yesterday or something. And he says to me, he goes, "Oh, John, so you're not going to follow the laws that your county is requiring you to wear a mask, huh? Oh, well, you must not be that much of a patriot, John." And I'm sitting here laughing. I'm like, this motherfucker doesn't know me. Like, I love breaking laws. And then, especially when they're fucking tyrannical and they're bullshit. I don't give a fuck about a law. I'm going to make my own decision up. I'm like, so I actually just, came back and was like, look, man, if they force me to wear them, I'm going to put it on my forehead because I'm going to tell them that I identify as a dolphin.
Oh, dear
and I'm going to cover my blowhole. So if you, and I actually said this to him, so I said, if you or them try to stop me from doing that, you guys are all racist. I love fucking with people.
Where in the world are we going?
But but
I feel like we're just going down this. I feel like as of right now, and in society right now, like what's going on? I feel like we're in some fucked up rabbit hole, and it's like, when are we going to see the light and get out of this shit? Right.
But the truth of the matter is, I had this realization the other day that I want to dedicate most of my time to like bringing people together. To maybe opening up the conversation because, this whole divide and conquer thing, here's how it works. If the government can get all of us, or at least half of us, hating each other, we can't get along. Every time, if you just look at it online, like every time any topic or any subject, anything of any importance, it's like a fucking line right down the middle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some people are going to argue because they're Democrat or liberal. Other people are going to think the other way because they're Republican. It's like they chopped everybody right down the fucking middle. And what that does is that reduces the power of the people to fight the government. If they can actually break people up in little segments where we can't even fucking agree on something as stupid as fucking Mrs. Butterworth on a syrup bottle, right? Whether that's right or wrong, who gives a fuck? That's shit that's like, who gives a fuck? But if we can't agree on anything at all, then we will be stripped of our power. Because how am I supposed to get upset at the government taking a right away from me when 50% of the people are on the opposite side of the issue and won't allow me to do anything? I've got to fight them and the government. And then all of a sudden they get upset because the government does something to them. And then us on the other 50% of the issue, we like side with the government on it. So now they got to fight us to get to them. They're literally, that's how divide and conquer works.
Yeah.
When you break up people in segments and nobody can get along, you literally take their power, chop it in half, and literally use people to protect you on one side of the power spectrum and the other. So it's fucking crazy. It's like crazy how that works, and it's crazy to see it in this country. That's why originally we had like shit that we would stand for in this country.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we have a constitution that where everybody is supposed to protect. Everybody is supposed to uphold this constitution that's really fucking smart. Like, it was put together by very, very smart men. And you see, again, that's an issue. Half the country, you know, doesn't want it. The other half the country does. And that's where the whole divide and conquer, that's how that happens. And we're actually seeing it unfold before our eyes. So it's like, how do we stop? Like, how does one side stop and start opening up a conversation with the other side? How do we break the barrier of fucking violent opposition to our brothers and sisters in this country? How do we strip that down? I mean, I don't know. I'm going to try just by having podcasts like this or by having videos like this. But I'm going to recommend all you guys out there start trying as well. Now, I'm still going to post some fucked up memes. Don't get me wrong. And I'm still going to go after the side that I feel stripping away the most freedoms.
See, I don't really understand how, listen, I don't have a lot of faith in our government. I don't have a lot of faith in our government, but I don't really get how somebody gets so offended over that one meme with Jimi Hendrix and Joe Biden. Like, I thought that was fun. I mean, if they did something with, wonder if Trump was into the whole sniffing thing too. You know what I'm saying? And they had Trump sniffing on Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, they wouldn't give a fuck. They would share that all over the place.
Hilarious. Like, I don't really get how people get so like attached to our, like, I just don't see how they get attached to it, because I'm like, do you have blinders, like, you know, over your eyes of some sort? Like, you really have that much faith in our government?
Well, you know, that's the thing, y'all. The government is not here to protect our health. You guys they're not here to protect our health. They're here. The government is supposed to be here to protect our constitutional rights, not our health.
Yeah.
Okay? Our doctors, our physicians, people's private doctors and private physicians are here to protect our health. You know, guys, if the news, if the media, think about this, if the media wasn't talking about COVID-19, would you even fucking know it existed?
No, it'd just be another
virus. A friend of mine on Facebook got it, Mike Kaminsky, and he said he would have just chalked it up to he got a flu. You know?
Yeah, if you guys can follow him on Facebook, or he's
like, got some good shit.
Oh, he writes some really good. If you ever need just like a breath of fresh air or something, like if you're having a shitty day and you need something to brighten up your day, like read his post.
Yeah, so everybody's scared shitless of this thing that doesn't even have a death rate as high as a flu. You know, I mean, the bird flu or the swine flu, all that shit was like fucking killed way more people than this.
Jonathan had the swine flu, and he was like, God, he was sick for like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, he was sick as fuck when he had that.
Yeah.
But this shit is not that, guys. And we're being lied to for a reason. And the fucked up narrative is now that the same people that wanted everything to shut down, they're the same people that are saying that Trump's economy is shit. It's just that narrative is fucking crazy. Like, everybody just needs to open their eyes and realize what the fuck is going on around us right now and be like, man, there's like that fucking evil people. And I'm not even saying Trump is, I am not 100% trying to let him off the hook on anything, because I think there's some things he could have done. He should have just said, fuck these guys. He should have just fucking took us right into this shit. And because, he had to have known, he's a president of the United States, but he played their game, took us into this bullshit. Now his economy looks like this, but he played their game, and that is the one thing I'm most disappointed with about his administration.
I'm still, I don't know. I'm still out on, what is that? The jury's still out on him. I have mixed feelings about him. I'll never really be gung-ho 100% about any president that we ever have. I honestly think that the last president, the last good president that we had, in my opinion, was JFK. And ever since then, it's just been, I don't know. That's my feelings, though.
I honestly don't even know that we've ever had a good president. I honestly,
I think we did.
I don't even know that you could be a good person and become the president of the United States. That's the thing. I don't even know that you could be a good person and become a politician. The way that our system is structured in this country.
You don't think that like in the beginning they start out and they're good and then they just get corrupt?
I mean, it's kind of like a defense attorney. I mean, you start out, you probably do have good intentions, but then you realize you got to fucking go represent, child molesters. You got to go represent murderers. You got to go and you've got to side with them.
That's true.
So at some point, your moral code, if you have any morals at all, has to be broken. I mean, Trump couldn't get where he's at without having a fucking strong dark side. And
absolutely.
If you are like a very, very strong dark, like if you got like if you actually watch Trump and you look at the people he surrounded himself in the past, it was very smart. It was smart the way that he did things, but it comes from a fucking dark side, man. I talked about this on some of the previous podcasts about how you are to lean into your dark side, because there is some shit there that can be used that you can shine some light on. But he one of his very first attorneys that he had when he was building Trump Towers was probably one of the most heinous motherfuckers on planet Earth. I mean, he represented like multiple mob bosses and shit. Trump had him on board for power, man. And I certainly hope Trump has that now. I hope Trump has, like, there's a place.
I'm sure he does.
There's a place for really fucking bad people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, are people that don't have any moral conscience. There's a place for these people. Like, how could you even get to the top of a political fucking power struggle like the United States government without that shit, when literally, most of them got to take fucking money from favors, from corporations and all this shit. Like, our entire political system has been bought by corporate America, China, the fucking world has been bought and paid for. And, it's just like how could you get to the top of that still hanging on to your fucking moral compass or your guidelines of what's right or what's wrong?
Well, as myself, I could never see myself being a politician.
I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it either. I feel like I don't know, I couldn't be a bad.
Well,
I couldn't be a bad person like that.
Well,
I feel like God would he would,
Well, see, the European countries caught on to that shit a long time ago. And they're as far as I know now, guys, like I told you, I'm just kind of getting back in the political game. But as far as I know, that their elections are publicly funded. So if you're a candidate and, they give you X amount of dollars, they know that it's cheaper for the public to fund the elections than to allow your politicians to be bought by corporations with future favors that they're going to actually be putting in legislation.
That's
in the
what
future.
they do over there in Europe?
Yeah. They actually have a set amount. Like they can't get corporate
Oh,
donations.
that ain't never going to happen over here in America.
But I'm just saying, that's the reason why you got to be a fucking slime ball to get to the top, because you got to grease every fucking...
Well, yeah, because like if you look at their net worth of like when they took office and then compare it to after they leave office, you're like, damn, how did that motherfucker make all that money?
Oh, what's Obama worth now? Like $100 million or something?
Oh, I don't know.
500 million or some shit like that. Oh shit! You want to get even further? You want to talk about Republicans? What's his name? Newt Gingrich got paid like $10 million.
Is that guy still around?
Shit, I don't even know. Got paid like $10 million for consulting of what was that fucking crooked corporation, Halliburton or some shit.
I don't know. I feel kind of bad for Obama in all honesty, because like he probably really doesn't want to support Biden. He's probably like, damn it, why do I got to do this shit for?
He's probably like, why don't these fucking white people leave me alone?
I know.
All these white motherfuckers, I done served my time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He did his thing. It's just like, oh man, I feel bad for you, Obama. Really.
Going back to think about this, Newt Gingrich. What the fuck could he tell anybody consulting wise worth $10 million? What's he whispering in their fucking ear that's worth $10 million?
Just some.
He's
favors.
not. He's fucking passing bills in their favor.
Yeah.
Same thing with Nancy Pelosi, and then they all start these foundations and shit, and the foundations are doing nothing but fucking siphoning money and doing political favors. I mean, they actually tracked the Clinton Foundation to the Black Lives Matters movement, and not the word Black Lives Matters, because I'm a firm believer that black lives do matter. And I'm a firm believer that just because somebody says Black Lives Matter, it's not saying white lives don't matter. It's just saying, hey, we matter too. Like, I'm a believer of that.
Yeah.
But the actual Black Lives Matter fucking organization that is a for-profit organization was fueled by the Clinton Foundation.
Some
You know, so
motherfuckers.
now they use shit to fucking sway money here and there. I was actually talking to a Dayton police officer earlier today.
Because I was getting some tattoo work done.
Sure,
I got
and
my knuckles done. Oh, these bitches look so good.
Yep.
Oh, they look so good. I was telling John, I was like, you know what? I was like, for a female, you know, usually a lot of women like diamonds or, you know, a lot of rings. Man, you can just tattoo me all up.
Yeah, that's right.
These
So
look so good.
it's cheaper than a diamond.
I don't know about that. I got a shitload of tattoos.
But I was talking to a Dayton police officer there because he's fucking quitting. He's learning how to be a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
And he's actually there during the day when he doesn't, he works night shift. And he works in the fucking bad, shitty area of Dayton, but he's there during the day cleaning shit and learning and drawing. And, you know, he's essentially getting trained to become a tattoo artist. You know, he's following one of his dreams. So talking to him, right? We were talking about the riots here in Dayton, and he basically just told me, like, some shit we didn't see in the news. They fucked these guys up, which I love. And I love that people got shot in the face with rubber bullets. I love that they got shot in the face with fucking beanbags. I love they got fucking tear gas, like all that shit. Like, look, man, if you're going to burn down businesses, try to come to a community, the Dayton police are going to fuck you up. Like, they're going to fucking tear you a new asshole.
Yeah,
And-
they do the stuff first and then they ask questions later. But I wonder, like, when somebody's getting shoot with like a rubber bullet or a beanbag, how fast does that thing come out?
Oh, it's enough to fucking just knock you clear off your feet and really fuck you up. They're supposed to shoot it at the ground first, and it'll bounce off the ground and hit you. But shit.
I wonder how close these people were, and they were with that.
Apparently, they were throwing fucking cocktails, like lighting shit on fire and throwing bottles of like fucking gasoline and shit at the Dayton police. So they're going to fucking tear you a new asshole, y'all. But here's what he said. He said it wasn't the locals, all right? So I do believe locals will fucking loot, especially if they know police are on call for like 8 hours. Like if you were to break into this pawn shop, like it'd take 8 hours. They're going to fucking loot, okay, in big cities. That's just the way it is. It's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But he said the people that were causing all the shit, obviously, we heard before, they were bussed in. He said they were like a bunch of fucking white, purple-haired, fucking crawled out of your mom's basement, weirdo motherfuckers. And them are the people that got fucking shot out, pelted in the face with fucking rubber bullets, and got the shit, you know, fucking beat out of them.
You know, that's so interesting because in Dayton, the protests, they didn't even last that long. They didn't,
Yeah.
like, compared to like some of the other cities here in Ohio.
Because they didn't show it on the news, y'all, but they
or-
fucked them up.
Or like in other states. Like, I think maybe they might have had a week or just less than a week that they did of protests. I think like what you said that police officer, what he was telling you or whatnot, I think that might have only happened once. And then after that, it was like peaceful protesting. But then it was like, whoever those people were, they weren't there. You
Yeah.
know, because like from what the news was reporting on that.
Yeah. So that was an interesting conversation. I was kind of happy to hear that some of them got shot in the face with rubber bullets. I don't know why. Some reason I imagine somebody with like purple hair and pale white skin, and he like some 400-pound dude crawled out of his mom's basement getting shot in the face with a rubber bullet. It just excites me, and it makes me wish I could see it in person.
I wouldn't want to see that in person. I'm just I don't know. I'm just
All the dudes right now that are driving, like listening to this podcast, you guys are all shaking your head going, yeah, I'd look at a purple-haired, 400-pound fat guy shot in the face with rubber bullets trying to protest and burn down a business. Fuck yeah, that'd be fucking funny.
oh, that shit's just not for me.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
So they did do get this, Ohio did do a mask mandate here. And they're actually trying to say they're fucking charge you with a second-degree misdemeanor if they catch you inside of a business now in Montgomery County. I'll give you guys an example. Like, we live in Montgomery County.
On the edge of Montgomery
But on
County.
the very edge. Most of our shopping's done in Greene County anyway. So we're not fucking going to any businesses in Montgomery County.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Ohio has it broke down to where like there's 4 different levels. And once you reach level 3, then you have to wear a mask when you go inside a building. But that place of employment doesn't have to enforce it. I don't know. There's all these weird stipulations, but basically I told John, like, our plan is like today I went to a couple stores and I went in there and I was not, in all honesty, I can't wear one of them damn things. Like medical purposes. Like that's being like completely legit. But I told John, I was like, I'll go ahead and do the shopping and everything. We're not going to have 2 people go into a store and both not have a mask on because John would blow the cover, obviously. And like, it just wouldn't
Well,
fly.
I just tell him right now, I got a medical condition, and that's called freedom.
Well, yes, but John, you would be the type of person to where next thing you know, the police were called and then they give you a warning or next thing you know, you'd be fine. And we are not going down that road.
I don't want to go in the fucking places like that.
Well, we don't have
Kind
to.
of a cool thing, though, our gym is actually is over in Greene County, so it's literally right down the road from where we live, but it just happens to be over that county line, which I was fucking happy to see that.
Yeah,
Because who the fuck, like I talked about this, like they're like literally we were in the gym last week, and there was 2 dudes in there, and one dude had a dirty old fucking like garbage surgeon's like breathe through blue mask thing
one
you
of the
guys see.
disposable ones.
And here he is, like fucking working out in the gym, like scratching, touching his face, breathing all hard, not wiping down a motherfucking thing he touches. So literally touching, scratching his nose and shit like that. And to be honest with you, like normally, like I would fucking want to punch somebody in the face, like in any condition, like if they're not wiping down their equipment. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You're sweating on something and then getting up and, there's a fucking towel over there and a bottle
I find that very gross because I'm just like.
But let alone he's wearing a mask, so it's fucking, he's saving the world, but can't wipe down his own fucking gym equipment? Give me a fucking break.
That's true. I hope, though, everybody had a happy 4th of July. I know around here in Ohio, there was a lot of people that let off fireworks. We actually had a lot of other small towns that kept their fireworks display going, the cities, which was awesome and amazing. And I hope everybody had like good cookouts and enjoyed their family. And
Yeah, since now the government's saying, the governor's saying when they seen the spike of coronaviruses after the riots or whatever, and the protest. Well, we're not going to say they came from the protest. They came from you guys gathering with your families.
John,
What a bunch of bitches.
I'm here talking about something happy. Gotta go back into the whole corona shit.
Well, it's a popular topic right
But
now.
I will say, one of the funniest things that John and I seen is I flipped on CNN and they were saying how bad these people were. And John and I were like jumping up and down in the living room. And it was some big lake party that they had in Michigan. And all these people were out there in the water and they were dancing around and having a good time and all this and that.
Oh, I love that shit. I love seeing that shit because if you watch like I never watch CNN, but I never watch CNN, and we're sitting there like we're like, let's see what the fuck CNN is saying.
Yeah.
And they're just like, okay, Greg, I'm gonna go ahead and hand it to you. Yes, Cheryl. It just appears that these kids are out here and they're acting like there is no pandemic. They are partying. There's no social distancing going on. I haven't seen one mask on any of these kids out here. They're literally acting as if there is no pandemic.
Yeah.
Back to you, Cheryl. Cheryl, wow. Yes, that is just alarming. I wonder how the corona spike rates are going to go after
Oh,
this.
it's so awesome. It was
it's
4th
like,
of
and
July weekend, and I'm just like,
we're laughing
oh.
our ass off. Like, it's almost like it's a comedy skit. It's like, how are they even fucking saying this stuff with a straight face?
Yeah.
You know?
I honestly do believe that right now, America, we are just down this really crazy, weird, interesting rabbit hole.
Yeah, then when Donald Trump wins in November, this is going to be fucking interesting.
Let's just get it. Okay, I cannot wait until the election is over because all this horse shit is going to go away. Trump will be reelected. He'll serve his next 4 years. He'll be able to push his agenda through whatever he wants to get done.
Bring on the liberal tears. I'll bath in them.
And then we'll see what happens after, his term is up. I honestly believe that once his second term is up, that there's a good chance a woman might be elected president. I don't know who it might be, but I think that that's in the cards. I think that's like around the bend here soon. Yeah. I'm sorry, man, if that disappoints you, but unfortunately, that's the next big thing. We had
the only thing would disappoint me if it was Hillary Clinton.
It's not gonna be Hillary Clinton.
Or that bitch of a fucking mayor from Michigan.
No, it ain't gonna be her. No.
Nobody can stand her anyway. There's no way she would win.
No, I personally would love to see Condoleezza Rice as president. That's just a
black woman at that.
Yeah, I have a thing for her.
Really good fucking president.
I have a thing for her. I really do. I have a thing for her. So
I like it.
Yeah, so do I. But I don't know if that would ever happen. But I think she would be one badass bitch as a president.
She probably would. Yeah.
Yeah, she really would. Oh, I could just see it now.
So there you go.
Yes. And John and I are counting down the days of returning to Utah.
Yep, we're going there here in just a couple weeks.
The promised land. That's what I like to call it.
Yeah, we're actually staying outside of Park City this time, though.
John and I are going to be out and about and actually doing a lot of shit that we normally do not do. Like, we're going to be so outdoorsy people. It's going to be so much fun. And I'm looking so forward to it because I bought really nice outdoor workout clothes that are if I get my sweat on really bad, it's going to dry really quick. And I'm super stoked. I'm super, super stoked. I've never been this stoked about doing something like this. And
if I lived out there, I would literally buy one of them Polaris fucking, it's they're like giant four-wheelers. People use them for rock. People drive them motherfuckers out there all over the place. And having that as an everyday car, it's fuck yeah.
That was I think, in all honesty, out of all the states that we've been to, Utah definitely took me out of my comfort zone. It was me being scared and nervous, but enjoying it at the same time.
Well, the thing is, guys, we don't drink anymore. Utah seems to be it just doesn't seem like a big party scene. We're more into health and fitness. That place is full of fucking outdoor activities, so many activities.
Yeah, but there's a different vibe. There's a different type of energy that state has that I haven't felt before. And I don't feel it here in Ohio. Other states that we've been to, I've never felt that. So I don't know what that,
Yeah, we're gonna be looking in some different areas out there. We're staying very close to Park City. Everybody keeps telling us to go check out Park City. Had a friend of mine tell us to check out Ogden.
Yeah.
I like Lehigh and Alpine where we were at. I just thought that place that was pretty amazing out there too. So there's just a lot. We're actually staying in Holiday, Utah, which is kind of in the middle of everything that we want to see. But then we're actually going to take one day and we're going to drive up to Moab. And
I'm looking so forward to that because I was telling John, which is so crazy, is when I don't even know if I've told this before or not, but so when we flew out to California for John to do his dent removal school and we were flying back, we flew over the Grand Canyon, and I was I got the window seat and I was so impressed with that. I was in such awe, and I'm one day I'm going to come back out here and I'm going to get there. And I know we're not going to be at the Grand Canyon, but we are going to explore some canyons. So I kind of feel in a weird way, this is all coming full circle.
Yeah. If we had a little more time, we probably would drive out to the Grand Canyon or Bryce Canyon, but I don't know. There's just some cool shit out there. One of the dudes who's in my mastermind group just recently went out there for some like kind of like wilderness training, like how to live off the fucking earth.
Yeah.
And he was telling us some of the stories, how they were learning how to basically like blend into the wilderness, like the Apaches and all this kind of shit.
to live off the grid. And
there's like schools out there, like full on schools to do like live off the grid and outdoor shit. I was like, fuck yeah, that's cool as hell.
Yeah, when he was talking about that, I was telling John, I was like, maybe a really cool dude to hang out with, sometime. Like, for real. I mean, I would do it. I wouldn't do it for like 2 weeks. I mean, I would do it for like, a few days to see if I liked it. I mean, but, the whole thing about exploring new areas and getting up into the mountains and the canyons and just, I don't know. Utah's got a lot to offer, so we'll see what happens.
Yep. All right, everybody. So we're going to go ahead and shut this podcast down for the night because we're hungry. It's late. We don't do as many podcasts as we used to, but that's just because we're always fucking busy.
But they're good, though.
They're always good. They're always really good. I think they're good.
I think they're good, too.
I listen to my own podcast, and I'm like, whoa, that was pretty funny, John. Good one, John.
You got anything inspiring to say?
I already said everything I needed to say that was inspiring.
Not like an inspiring.
Oh, yeah, actually,
quote.
I do. Yeah, I do. Okay. Yeah. So today, I actually was some of my bigger mastermind groups I'm involved in outside of our industry and all that. I was actually made a post earlier today and was talking about like Elon Musk had this quote that rather than be patient, you should take your 10-year plan, write it all down, and then go out and try to accomplish that shit in 6 fucking months.
Yeah.
Because you're going to gain a lot of progress, a hell of a lot more than fucking living in the premise that it's actually going to take you 10 years to do that shit.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm doing right now. I'm actually writing down an entire fucking 10-year plan. I'm looking like, okay, so, I'll be like 50 in 10 years. And
yeah, we'll be 50.
Yep. Where do I want to be when I'm fucking 50? What do I want my life to look like when I'm 50? What will I have accomplished when I'm 50, 10 years from now? Where will I be living? What will I be doing? And then I'm going to try to fucking cram that shit in 6 months and get it done.
Oh, I just want to, if all goes well, the same feelings and everything with Utah. Like, I want beautiful house, mountain view. I want to be sitting out on the back porch in the morning, watching the sun come up, drinking a cup of coffee, and my dog's right beside me. Yeah, and my husband too.
I guess I'm in there somewhere, right? You guys should try that. It's an exercise that one of my mentors taught me. It's called writing down your perfect day. And what that is, it's writing down what your perfect day would look like from the moment you woke up to the moment you went to bed. Yep. The things that actually happened during that day, write it all down and try to put as much emotion and feeling into it as possible.
Yeah.
What that does is that begins opening up your mind. Okay, so if you understand what your perfect day looks like, right? Yeah. You start to understand, well, what kind of person would I have to be to have that perfect day, right? Mm-hmm. So now all of a sudden you're starting to build a plan from that, right? So, okay, you'd have to be making this much. You'd have to be doing this. You'd have to have had that, right? Okay, so now we're getting a little bit closer. Well, how could I make that much? How could I have this type of life? What would I have to do? Okay, so now we're starting to get a little bit further. It's a way that you can actually use to reverse engineer and create a plan to do tangible steps to actually get there. And what you do is, okay, well, if I'm going to be this person and I'm going to have these things, and I'm going to be doing this, right? I'll have to have this, and this, right? What can I do right now in this moment? And the next moment, and the next moment, and the next moment to get myself to that spot or that place.
Yeah.
It honestly, it begins to open up your mind to see the possibility. And after you see the possibility, you can only create a plan after you see that possibility.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good exercise. And in fact, I got it on my phone right now, and I'll sit there and read it. I'll do it in the morning. I do morning rituals. I do meditation, shit like that. And, man, it keeps you on track.
Yeah. John came home and he read that to me, and I was like laying on the bed and had my eyes closed, and he read it, and I was just like, wow, you really you knew exactly what I want. I mean, it was like laid out perfect. I was just like laying there with my eyes closed, and he's reading this, and I'm imagining it, like manifesting it, and I'm just like, oh, this is like perfect. I'm like, this is some good shit, John. I'm like,
mm-hmm.
Yep. I was like,
All
that's
right.
one of the reasons why I married you.
So there's your inspirational moment, guys. We appreciate you. See you on the next one.
Yes, we will.